Why do some people, regardless of their income, seem to always be broke, while others, even on a modest income, appear financially comfortable? This question, folks, is more than just a riddle. It's at the heart of understanding the emotional side of money. Take John and Jane, for example. They both earn the same income, but their financial situations could not be more different. John, despite earning well, is always just a paycheck away from financial disaster. Jane, on the other hand, always seems to have a little extra at the end of the month. She's comfortable, content, and calm about her finances. What's the difference? It's not about the money itself, it's about their emotional relationship with money. John sees money as a means to immediate gratification. He spends impulsively, seeking the short-term thrill of a new purchase. Jane, however, sees money as a tool for building a secure future. She spends thoughtfully, saving and investing for long-term benefits. This is not about who is smarter or who is better at math. It's about their emotional responses to money. It's about fear and desire, security and risk, patience and impulsivity. It's about the feelings that money evokes in us and how those feelings drive our financial decisions. It's clear, then, that our financial behaviors are deeply rooted in our emotions and personal experiences. Did you ever notice how one person's financial strategy can fail miserably for another? Just as in a game of chess, everyone plays different financial games, each with its own set of rules, strategies, and outcomes. These games are shaped by our income, risk tolerance, goals, and personal circumstances. Consider the tale of two friends, Alex and Jamie. Both decided to follow the same investment strategy. They invested in the same stocks at the same time with the same amount of money. But here's the twist. Alex was a single, risk-tolerant individual with a six-figure salary, while Jamie was a cautious family man earning a modest income. As the market fluctuated, Alex could afford to ride the waves of volatility, his high-risk tolerance and disposable income acting as a safety net. Jamie, on the other hand, felt each dip in the market like a punch to the gut. He lost sleep, worried constantly, and eventually pulled out of the investment at a loss, unable to bear the stress. The same strategy, the same game, but two vastly different experiences and outcomes. Why? Because Alex and Jamie were playing different games of wealth, shaped by their unique financial circumstances and emotional capacities. So, next time you're tempted to follow someone else's financial playbook, remember this: what works for one may not work for another. It's crucial to understand and respect your unique financial game. Have you ever thought about how much is enough for you? Let's delve into a tricky little pitfall we all have to navigate in our financial journey: the greed trap. Greed is a silent enemy, often mistaken for ambition. It's not always about wanting more money, but about wanting more than what we have, more than what we need. Consider the tale of a successful entrepreneur. Let's call him John. John built a thriving business from scratch. His company was a roaring success. Profits were soaring and life was good. But the whisper of greed started to echo in John's mind. He wanted more. So he risked his hard-earned wealth on a high-stakes venture. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out. John found himself in ruins, losing not only his new venture, but his original business too. Greed had cost him everything. John's story is not an isolated case. It's a stark reminder of what unchecked greed can do. It's important to understand that there's a significant difference between ambition and greed. Ambition is the drive that pushes us to achieve more, to reach new heights. Greed, on the other hand, is the insatiable desire for more, often without a clear purpose or end goal. Defining enough is a crucial step in avoiding the greed trap. It allows us to recognize our financial goals and understand when we've reached them. In doing so, we can protect ourselves from the destructive potential of unchecked greed. Unchecked greed can silently sabotage the best financial strategies. Always know you're enough. Are you aware of the eighth wonder of the world, the magic of compounding? This extraordinary principle is often overlooked, yet it has the power to transform your financial life. Let's illustrate this with a real-life example. Imagine a young woman named Jane. At the age of 25, Jane starts investing a modest $100 every month. It doesn't seem like much, but here's where the magic happens. If Jane's investments grow at an average rate of 7% annually, by the time she retires at 65, she'd have accumulated over $300,000. But here's the kicker. Out of that sum, she only invested $48,000. The rest, that's the result of compounding, the earnings on her earnings, quietly growing her wealth over the years. So remember, your consistent small actions can create significant results over time. Compounding might be slow and invisible, but its power over the long term is undeniable. Why do we admire the possessions more than the person who owns them? This is a question we seldom ask ourselves, but it's at the heart of the man in the car paradox. Picture this. A friend of yours, let's call him John, has always been the responsible type, saving diligently and living within his means. But one day, John shows up in a shiny new luxury car. You're impressed, right? But what you don't know is that John felt pressured into buying this car, even though it was a financially unwise decision. He fell victim to the man in the car paradox, the idea that we often admire possessions, not the person who owns them, and we make choices to impress others, even when they don't align with our financial goals. This paradox can lead to financial strain and stress. So remember, it's you who matter, not your possessions. Don't fall for the man in the car paradox. Are you prepared for life's financial surprises? It's a question that can make many of us uncomfortable, but it's one we cannot afford to ignore. You see, life is a series of unexpected twists and turns, and our financial journey is no exception. That's why having a margin for error in your financial plan is crucial. Take, for instance, the story of Emily. Emily was a hardworking professional, saving a little from her paycheck every month. She wasn't rich, but she was comfortable. Until one day, life threw her a curveball, an unexpected health crisis that not only took her away from work, but also piled up medical bills. She was faced with a financial storm that could have wiped out her savings, but Emily had something on her side. Her emergency fund, a safety net she had been diligently building over the years. This wasn't a result of some financial wizardry, but a simple habit of setting aside a little from her income every month. This margin for error, this room for the unexpected, helped Emily weather the storm. It provided her with the financial resilience to face life surprises without being swept away. So let Emily's story serve as a reminder to cultivate the habit of saving, to build your own financial safety net. Because in the end, it's not about predicting the unpredictable, but being prepared for it. Life's surprises are inevitable. Always have a room for error in your financial planning. How can we integrate all these lessons into a cohesive money management system? Well, let's consider an example. Meet Sally. Sally was once a spendthrift, living paycheck to paycheck, always on the edge of financial disaster. But she decided to change her story. She began by acknowledging the emotional side of money, understanding that her financial behaviors were driven more by her feelings and personal experiences than by logic. Sally then realized that she was playing a different game of wealth than her high-earning friends. She didn't have their income, but she did have control over her expenses. This was her game, and she was set to win it. She also recognized the greed trap. Instead of constantly striving for more, Sally defined her enough. She focused on what truly brought her joy and satisfaction, not just what society told her she should want. Next, Sally harnessed the power of compounding. She started saving and investing, even if it was just a small amount each month. She knew that over time, these small contributions would grow into a substantial nest egg. Sally also confronted the man in the car paradox. She realized she admired the possessions, not the person who owned them. This helped her reduce her desire for materialistic items and focus more on building wealth and financial stability. Finally, Sally built a room for error into her financial life. She recognized that life's surprises were inevitable, so she started an emergency fund. This gave her peace of mind, knowing she had a financial buffer for unexpected expenses. By integrating these lessons, Sally transformed her financial life. She created a resilient money management system that protected her from emotional pitfalls, and helped her build wealth over time. This is the power of understanding and applying the psychology of wealth. True financial success requires a change in behavior, discipline, and patience. Stop chasing quick fixes and start building your resilient money mindset now.